What's up everybody, it's your boy Jesse Reviews back and again with another review for today. And if you guys have not clicked on the right side of the corner of the video, as I'm looking at right now, I recently did a toy hunt video, which we'll be now doing a review on. Hammond collection Indominous Rex. Now, like I stated in my toy hunt video, there is a lot of controversy with this figure, which is not surprising in my opinion. However, we're gonna get down to why that is, and I will be reviewing this figure in all its glory, which honestly, not half bad. But again, we're gonna get to that in the bottom of this video, so stay tuned.
Starting up here, we're gonna go with the packaging. Front of the packaging, as we can see, Indominous. Jurassic World Hammond Collection Indominous Rex right here. Right side we have True Effects over here. Top of the packaging. Cool angle of the packaging. Jurassic World in one side and Indominous Rex information right here. Pretty cool. Hammond Collection. And back of the packaging, just some photos. Hammond Collection Indominous Rex. Some cool information here also. Jurassic World. And yeah, pretty much it on the packaging on this figure.
Oh, forgot one thing. So now that we have packaging out of the way on this figure, now let's just unbox the figure and see if it's any good or not. So yeah, we're gonna do that in a bit. So here is the Indominus Rex out of the packaging, and I will admit, it's semi-glorious. I will admit it does look kind of good. However, I do have some issues already with this figure, which we'll get to later on in this video. I do want to emphasize how this figure, it does have its pros, but this figure also has its cons, and I do really again emphasize we will be going over that. This figure is not as bad as I thought it would be, but of course again has its issues, which we'll be going into later in this video. So let's not waste any time and let's go straight into the detail. So detailing on this figure, we're gonna start with the face here. The face sculpt on this figure actually really good, I'll admit that. Really nicely done, I will say. All the scales and bumps on this figure really emphasize how rough and just how rough the Indominus looks. And inside of the mouth also, detailing is also really nicely done. Again, really nice detailing, but just we'll get later into more of the details get it? Details in this figure on the cons on this, but so far we'll just go through the positives of what makes this an Indom figure. So yeah, the overall body, as you can see, real nicely done. And I will say the quills here are this nice soft plastic as seen here, and also the bumps right here, some of the ridges have this rubbery soft plastic to them, which feel nice. And right here is just some hard plastic that is here. Going further down the body, as you can see, the leg here nicely detailed as always. Toes as well, which they also show a dew claw right there. which is not painted unfortunately. And now that we're here, let's just look at the hand. Detailing on the hands and the arms, real nicely done. And again, some quills that the Indominus has. Soft plastic here, really nice. Majority here of the hand, soft plastic, which is nice. Going down the body, detailing of the scaling and bumps goes down to the tail, which again, real nice. Tail here is this nice soft plastic or rubber, I guess, sort of. And yeah, but overall, detailing on this figure, real nicely done from head all the way to the end of the tail. So yeah, that's it for detailing on this figure. Now going over the paint job. Now, this is already one of the complaints of this figure. And so as you can see here, the head, this nice dark gray white, right here around the eye, as you can see, really dark gray. And the eye is this reddish orangish color. Right here is this awkward paint job done right here on the lip, which gives it this like lipstick effect on the Indominus, which is weird, but okay. And the front head of the Indominus has this weird awkward airbrush on it in front of its head, which looks really out of place in my opinion. Hey, it's what it is. The teeth also are painted this really yellow, dirty, darkish color, which unfortunately I don't think my camera can pick on it really well. The teeth here are just really painted yellow. Like, that's the best way I could describe it. Opening the jaw of this figure, as you can see, inside of the mouth is also nicely colored well, in my opinion. The tongue is really nicely toned with the mouth as well. However, right here, the like I guess a like cheek or whatever you call that, extra skin, it's this different color than this. However, it's this nice soft plastic, which I'll get to in a little bit. However, it's nicely done, which gives the mouth a nice range of motion. And going down to the body, again, this really dark grayish coloring all over, which unfortunately, in my opinion, is not really that screen accurate. However, it is what it is. And right here, again, we have this awkward gray color, airbrush coloring, and it's just so weird in my opinion. Like, why would you put this here? And down to the toes, I guess. The toes are nicely painted. However, the dew claw on this one is not painted, which is funny as usual for Mattel. And again, the toes, interesting enough, for some reason Mattel painted the feet this dark brown coloring, which going back up, the hands are also painted this really dark coloring as well. Weird in my opinion. And it's just so awkward as well. It just doesn't fit in with this figure, with what it is. And actually, now that I look at this again, the figure is just this dark brownish coloring, I guess, with some gray and a bit of white and pink in the mouth. But that's just really it with the paint job on this figure, which now we'll go to like the accessories of the figure has to offer. Also, underneath the paint job, forgot to mention, here's the underbelly. Does not go, unfortunately, all the way to the tail. Just underneath this belly and a bit on the neck, and that's it. So yeah, pretty much it on paint job wise. So interesting enough, this figure actually has pieces to it. So this figure does come with 2 extra pairs of hands, which do not have nothing of a difference to the hands that are already on the Indominus, which is unfortunate because I feel like this is a missed opportunity Mattel could have done for, like like one hand could have been the one that lays on the ground, as the Indominus does occasionally, to walk on all fours, which is such a shame, honestly. Just why would you do this, bro? Like, there's no point in doing this. And the final piece, removable piece of this figure, is this dino damage, which finally my camera could focus. And it comes with the tracker that was shown in the first Jurassic World movie, which again, I think it's really awesome. However, it's just weirdly implemented in this figure, and again, this detailing on this is really cool, but just the implementation of this is just weird in my opinion. and honestly it just doesn't suit this line, the Hammond collection line, but I guess it's just a cool thing that Mattel wants to do and stuff, so yeah. But really, in my opinion, this is just so out of place. But again, I do think this is a really cool piece. The detailing on it is actually really good. The tracker on it is also really cool. It's not glass, it's just a soft resin, which is nice so it doesn't break easily. And yeah, so that's it for the accessories, there you go, of this figure. But before we get to my complaints on this figure, I do quickly want to go over the articulation. Interesting enough, with this figure, it actually, I feel like it has a new articulation. So right here, the top head is actually able to swivel more smoothly than the previous Hammond collection theropods that we had, the bigger theropods like the Giga and the Spino, which is really nice in my opinion. I kind of do like this. The jaw, obviously, it opens really wide. The tongue just moves that much, I guess. Like here, it's nice 360 motion. The hands here, and also these hands come nicely. The legs here. This extension, as you can see, and the hips are just also able to extend. And the tail on this figure are really able to bend, which is interesting. And the tail's also able to do a nice 360, and just side to side, up and down, just like that. And yeah, that's pretty much the articulation on this one. Nice articulation as always for every theropod, big theropod in this line. So now let's finally get to my bit of complaints on this figure. Me oh my, where do I begin with this figure on the complaints? Well, to start off, I personally was a big fan of the glass eyes that Hammond collection really offered. And unfortunately with this figure, it has no glass eyes. It's a painted eye this time around, which honestly is such a bummer because this is supposed to be a premium collector's line for the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World fans, which is unfortunate, but I guess people kept complaining and Mattel listened in this case for some reason. The mouth here is really awkwardly painted, and again, like as I emphasized, this pink right here, so weird. I do not understand why that is. And the mouth in here, I absolutely don't like this plastic tongue. I far more preferred it being the rubber, which to me felt more premium, and I actually liked it because the tongues actually went all the way down to the bottom of the mouth, which this one does not. And I had to apply force to it in order for it to stay like that. But if I leave it like that, well, the tongue just sticks out, and for some reason it still bounces up from the bottom of the mouth, which is interesting. And here on the teeth actually, and the mouth again, it does not close properly by itself, which is so unfortunate, and just why, I don't understand. The teeth on here also far too large. They're just way too long also. Just super ridiculous. Just doesn't make sense for this Indominus figure. If they were a bit shorter, I would have much preferred it that way. However, that's not the case with this figure. And so we'll move on down. Again, here, the paint job wise on this figure, that's actually another main reason. This figure's paint job is just so weird. This weird pink again, way too dark, honestly, in my opinion. I far more preferred the Dino Rivals version of this figure. Actually, the other versions were just far more superior than this one. And the paint job wise on this figure, semi-accurate, I believe, but just not really the Indominus I liked, or that isn't the screen accurate Indominus Rex that I was promised from Mattel for the Hammond collection line. And one big complaint for me is this tail. I previously reviewed the other theropod dinosaurs, the big ones like the Giga and the Spino, and they felt really good, you know, they felt nice and firm. But this Indominus Rex's tail, it doesn't feel like that for some reason, which I found interesting when I was playing around with it. As I was touching it, it just feels weird. it feels way too thin. The rubber that's covering like the inner part of the tail just feels way too thin, which is why it causes the tail to like really bend like that much, you know. And if I were to really bend it like that, if other people bend it like this, then eventually in the future down the line, then the tail's gonna break, because this is rubber and rubber really doesn't last forever. It's just so weird, and I don't understand how Mattel messed this up, you know. Like the other theropod figures, the other big theropod figures, the Giga and the Spino, didn't have this issue, and their tails were really fine. But this Indominus Rex figure, I don't know what happened, but this tail is just does not feel nice, does not feel strong, and I feel like over time if I continue to do this, it'll eventually break and crack, and it just won't be good, you know. So tail on this, not good, not the best quality. It's just not good. Lastly, just my last complaint on this figure, the hands. I actually like the added accessories to this new Hammond collection figure. To me, if you're gonna give accessories to these figures, make them useful, make them actually worth it. We get extra hands for this Indominus Rex figure, but the hands are literally exactly the same. Barely any difference. I think they're just wider or something, or just more closed in than these hands, because they're able to grip stuff. But these hands, they're just more closed, I guess, or they're just the same, honestly. If I were to put them next side to side, they're just literally the same hands, and I see no point in these if you're just gonna give me the same hands that aren't painted, may I add. They're just painted this dark color, brown, and the nails ain't painted. So that's crazy, bro. These hands have no use, like absolutely no use. Sucking. Like what the f. That is my complaints so far on this figure. So let's quickly end this video before I get way too mad, and let's get some nice comparisons with other Hammond collection figures. Here is a comparison next to the OG Dino Rivals Indominus Rex figure, and just a sheer difference right here. Here is the Indominus next to the Giga, and here is a human and Velociraptor next to the Indominus. Here's the Spinosaurus next to the Indom. And here is a Hammond collection Therizinosaurus next to the Indom. And here is the Hammond collection Brachiosaurus next to the Indominus. So let's wrap it up. So overall, this figure isn't that entirely horrible. However, Mattel has really dropped the ball on this one, and especially this being a Hammond collection figure, and this being the Hammond collection Indominus Rex. Like, Mattel really fell hard on this figure, and I mean that. With the weird choice of paint, making this a semi-realistic take on the Indominus. However, I much prefer the Dino Rivals version as shown here. This version just made it look more resembling to the Indominus Rex in the Jurassic World film, and it just did so much better than this figure does. However, the box states that this is the camouflaging Indominus Rex, so maybe that's why the colors are dark. I'm not really too sure, but that's probably the reason why. The proportions on this also just weird. The head, it's too small. The tail is a little too short, it needs to be longer. and the nice accessories that we get on this figure, I won't deny it, I really like the accessories. However, if you're gonna implement accessories to a figure, please make them actually useful. I do not want another set of hands that are literally the same hands that are already on this figure. Give me at least a variation, please. And just the overall quality issues that this figure has. So many, and every single day I keep seeing people continue to complain about the quality issues on this figure. Luckily for my copy, I have found no issues on this, thankfully. Nothing on the membranes or rubber pieces being broken off or anything loose on the joints on my figure. Everything's completely fine with it, thankfully, and I'm so thankful for that. I'd honestly say $60 for this figure, not worth it, guys. I do not recommend you guys buying this, especially $110 that those scalpers are selling it for. Those nasty, disgusting beings of scalpers. So I do not recommend you guys to buy this right away. I honestly would say purchase it when it's on sale or something, but do not pay for this figure full price like I did. Honestly, if I had the choice, I would probably give it to someone else who really wants it. But for me, honestly, now that I'm getting into the Hammond collection line more, I obviously want to get them all now. It's just honestly really disappointing because I honestly was looking so forward to this figure, you know, like the Indominous Rex. It's, how can you mess it up with Mattel hitting the ball with the Giganotosaurus and Spinosaurus? I had the impression Mattel was gonna deliver on this figure. Unfortunately, that just wasn't the case, and I'm so disappointed on Mattel for not doing real justice to this figure and making it seem worth our money. Please let me know in the comments below if you guys are going to purchase this figure, and tell me if your copy has any issues. Then unfortunately you're just gonna have to live with that, and let me know if you guys have any luck finding this guy in store, because luckily for me, I went on to find this figure on release day before any scalpers got to it, and I kid you not, guys, scalpers are crazy on this. I literally saw a Facebook listing the other day of someone having 8 of them and selling them for 120 or 110, something like that. I'm not sure, but I just found that really ridiculous and just so stupid and so greedy. So I thank you all so much for watching this video. It means the entire world to me that you've watched it all the way here to the end. I know it's a little long, but I do appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shall see you on the next one. Adios and goodbye, everyone. I shall see you on the next one. Bye bye.